Well, I already thanked Erin. If anybody sees Erin again tonight, thank her because we love having these events at Songbird. This is such a cool environment for us. We love being able to sit outside during the cooler months. They obviously have amazing beverages and snacks. And I believe they're all on the house, as in on OVMAE tonight. So if you have not already gotten your beverage, please do so. Yeah, run up the tab, everybody. The tab. I love it. It's rare that we get to say things like that, so that's fun. Hi, Jenny. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our annual round of applause for Songbird. I'm Dr. Dombrowski, and I go by RD. That's how most of you know me. I'm the daughter of a combat veteran, USMC, and I run a little program called Versus for Vets. I'm also the editor of that publication right there, Issued Stories of Service, which is our veteran writing journal. Both of those are sponsored by the Office of Veteran and Military Academic Engagement at ASU, which is led by retired Colonel Wanda Wright. I'm not going to talk long, but I am going to say I love events like tonight because they give veterans an opportunity to share their stories. Yes? You can still hear me? Okay, wonderful. I love these events because they give veterans an opportunity to share their stories, to be heard, to be celebrated, to be supported. But I also love these events because they're an opportunity for civilians to hear these stories too. And that is just as important. Exactly. Most people I talk to, almost everyone I talk to, has 1 or 2 degrees of separation from the military. But many of those people have never actually engaged with veterans. So these kinds of events are an opportunity to close that gap and create real community. I swear, everybody I meet, 1 degree of separation from the military, but they say they never talk to veterans. So this is the kind of stuff we need more of in our community. And I'm grateful that OVMAE still supports events like this and that we're able to bring them to you at least a couple of times a year. I know that nobody really knows the order in which they're reading tonight, so that's half of the surprise, right? Chuck. I'm going to introduce our first reader, who is a friend of mine. I'm so happy that he's back tonight. Chuck Hale is a United States Marine Corps veteran who served 7 years on active duty as an infantry assaultman, including deployments to Somalia, the Middle East, Japan, and Iceland. After his service, he earned a BA in history from ASU and an MED from Northern Arizona University. He now works at ASU, nonetheless, in the College of Health Solutions, coordinating graduate programs and leading veteran initiatives with the Military and Veteran Resilience and Health Collaborative. Let's give it up for Chuck, everybody.
Right, I'm not even gonna touch this. I'm not gonna touch it. It's perfect. It's perfect. So I think I wrote this after attending this event last year and sitting down there, hearing a Marine saying, "I've never wrote a poem before." Tilt the mic. Tilting the mic up. Is that better? How's that work? Awesome. Okay, I'm usually a step behind, so here I am now. Um, but I sat there and listened to what his poem, and as soon as he was done, I said, you know what, I think I can do this, and set out on this adventure. This poem is actually written as a few regrets that I have with my mother, who's passed away. So I've begun to write poems about things that I did in front of her, put her through, what have you, and this one is about a time that she took me to the VA hospital, and not in a good situation of mine, a really low point of my life. I've had some positive experiences and some negative experiences at the VA, but this one is called The Panic Button. Um, I trust you to give me the care I deserve, to honor the oath, to advocate. Without debate, I follow your lead, a Marine, a bit broken, but built to succeed. Take this, not that, he says of the scripts. See you next week. This will work out great. I struggle to live. I lean on my mom. She takes me to the VA. My hands shake. Do you feel normal? The doctor asks. Sleep deprived. I scoffed. I eat seeds. Agitated arises. Anxiety flares. Heart pounds. No lifeline. No care. Wait, who prescribed this? What? Say again? No time to listen. Just empty words. What the fuck do you mean? I snap. Code blue. Lights flash. Code blue again. No, not one, not two, but three security in the fray. Stay for your safety, they sternly say. I jump from my seat. From whom? From me? You? I react without care. My mom behind me, tears in her eyes. She pulls me back. I freeze. I breathe. I break.
Okay.
I deserve better. We all do. Thank you.
Let's give another round to Chuck Hale. It's a beautiful poem. Thanks for sharing your struggle with us. We got a new reader tonight. His name is Michael Baumgarten. He served in the Army for 11 years. He finished his bachelor's degree in anthropology at Cal State University Northridge in 2021, and he is currently working on his PhD in evolutionary anthropology at Arizona State University. I know he's also involved with the Warrior Scholars Program because I'm going to be working with him tomorrow on that. Let's give it up for Michael, everybody.
All right. Hey, everyone eating dinner? It's good to see you. So this is my first time doing this, which is really weird. So I'm reading from a couple books. If you're not familiar with the Dead Reckoning Collective, okay, some of you are. So it's a veteran-owned and operated publishing company. And so these books are from a poetry anthology, Saul GWAT veterans, that kind of narrates the beginning, middle, and end of the last 20 years. So the first poem I'm going to read is one of, well, we're reading a couple of my poems. I don't know if it's weird to read other people's. Name of the book is War and After. This poem's called Hey Hero. All right. Hey Hero, did they tell you the price you'd pay? What did you buy with your life? Did you save the day? Did the ones you love understand your time away? Hey hero, why did you walk away? When they thank you, why do you flush with shame? Did you find enough tombstones? Can you remember all the names? Hey hero, do you sleep okay? How do you keep the nightmares at bay? Can you still see it the same? When someone gets too close, do you push them away? Hey hero, did you cross the bridges you burned? Did you talk to the others? Do you hope they're concerned? Hey hero, you're going the wrong way. Didn't they tell you about the pain? The thoughts you'd have that ask to escape? Does it all make sense? Have you found your place? Is the world less right than it used to be? Do you love the same? Have you found peace? Hey, hero, it's okay. Have you asked for help? Did it help anyway? Hey hero, do you like that name? Thank you. So this one's from So Long. That's the third book in the trilogy, and so a lot of these poems, like I said, it's all GWAT veterans. It's kind of just about the end of the GWAT. So this poem's called From Someone Who Can't Forgive, Forget. We said never forget, not knowing what we were demanding, to be shackled forever to the past. Some pulled away to flag draped boxes, sworn to never leave someone behind. Some build lonely villages filled by memories of long lost friends, kept haunting barroom halls, glasses raised before leaving again. Some went down in battle, some just wasted away. Some of them even became heroes in common cause, the same struggle, how to start life over again. Willingly they did answer, estranged from those who did not, placed on pedestals by some, their ears assailed, shouting over broken pieces, bickering over what it all meant. We are a nation moving faster, trying to outrun what we cannot escape. Past losses unacknowledged, and a defeat too easily dismissed. So we find comfort in victories, carved in margins in places we couldn't pronounce, all washed away in an instant, just as violent as when it began. What lingering tragedy did we bestow at the reading of our war's will, the same gift we were given, a machine that only knows how to kill? Stones will be quarried, hewn from mountains of aging war tales. Masterfully, they'll be sculpted so as not to disturb our sacred beliefs. Hollowed out, they weaken to collapse on whoever comes next. If freedom means forgetting, let it be granted to all who have lost. Go forth and chase better memories. See without war shaded eyes. I know peace may seem ever elusive when your pillow gives no respite. Let yourself slip beyond fear's hesitation, released from needless regret. Use what their life has bought you. Make the world grateful to know that you lived. Let the monuments and graves do their duty. It is here I relieve you at last. With your torch, I will keep a vigil. Tell me their story, kept close to your chest. Give me the coins, and I will pay their way to cross the river at last. Forever welcomed and cared for, an eternal well-guarded rest. Now go seek life with all the vigor where you were once willing to die from someone who cannot forgive or forget. So you must so instead.
Wow.
Michael, those were beautiful poems. I only have the new anthology, and your poems were so short in the new one. I thought he's going to read for 30 seconds and then bail, isn't he? Those were beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing those. And those anthologies are produced by our mutual friend, Keith Dow, over in Southern California, Dead Reckoning Collect. They're awesome. They've been doing this work for many, many, many years. So check them out online, support them. Let's give it up for Michael again. Beautiful work, man. Thank you. Wanda Wright is a United States Air Force Academy graduate who served for 21 years with the Arizona National Guard, retiring at the rank of colonel. She is the third generation of her family to serve in the U.S. military. In 2015, Wanda was selected to lead the Arizona Department of Veterans Services, and in 2023, she became my boss, the director of the Office for Veteran and Military Academic Engagement at ASU. Let's give it up for Wanda, everybody.
Well, welcome everyone. We're really happy to host and sponsor this event. Another beautiful night to share with all of you these wonderful stories and poetry and narratives really speak to what a veteran life can be like. Mine's a little bit different. I graduated from the Air Force Academy in 1985, and this is a little incident that happened to me while I was there. So in context a little bit, just think dorms and think integrated dorms with boys and girls. I thought I locked the door. My clothes were thrown all over the floor. I was getting dressed for my Sammy chores. But fate had something else in store. A dually strolling down the hall with vacant thought and no heed at all. This is when fate played its wicked hand, and he entered no man's land. There I stood bare and bold, an upperclassman with no clothes. The door opened in a flash. The dually looked up and froze. "Ma'am," he uttered, eyes wide with fright, his mind saying, "Oh boy, this is not right." He blushed 3 colors of red, wishing he was somewhere else instead. Quickly, he backs out, the door closing behind him, hoping to forget the whole thing. Goosebumps on his skin. He saw way more than he bargained for at this firstie's door. I quickly dress. Oh, what a complete mess. I walk to his room next door and say one thing. We will never speak of this again. I walk out of his room, holding my head high. This incident will never be told, I hope, with a sigh. For both of us, a lesson was learned that day. Locks and knocks keep mishaps away.
Wanda, that was great. Did you write that for your reunion? That's what I thought Stacy said. I loved it. Thank you so much, Wanda. Let's give Wanda another round of applause, you guys. We love a little bit of humor on nights like this. We're so excited to have Nadine Wiedock back again this year. She kind of came out of nowhere last year, and we were like, who is that poet? Oh my God. Nadine served in the Army National Guard for almost 9 years, and she just completed her master's in social work at ASU. Let's give it up for Nadine, everybody.
I'm a little shorter than most, so sorry about that. Gotta move it down. Is that okay? Can you guys hear me? Okay, I'm really nervous. This is the second time I'm here and I'm excited to be back, but it's also the second time I've read a poem. So this is something I wrote while I was going through a medical board with the Arizona National Guard. So I've recently been medically boarded out, retired as a staff sergeant, and so this is my poem. Yeah. Oh, I didn't memorize it this time. I'm sorry. Okay. Thank you for your service. Thank who? Me? Yeah, you. No, not me. My morals no longer align. I show up, but I know I'm not fine. The wool's been removed. There's no going back. Crassness needed. I somehow now lack. They say don't meet your heroes for disappointment you'll face. What happens when your heroes are your career and this place? The uniforms issued with so much pride. Standing here now, the soldiers changed inside. Would have done anything when called to toe the line, vowing to never leave another soldier behind, cherishing this place and the friendships I've sourced. Lifelong community, trauma bonded, of course. My identity weaved into the camel I wore, but as a female, called weak, a bitch, or whore. It's a sign of strength to find balance with these. Well, as long as I'm not weak, the rest I can appease. The value of people is so frequently ignored, yet they stand there demanding more and more. Politics, rank, taint the heart of a soldier, dismissing their people because the mission becomes all they can shoulder. Inputs, outputs, that's all they can compute. Completing the mission requires placing emotions on mute. People reduced to a computing locked box, but when needed, the government will promptly unlock. This isn't me. This isn't the reason I joined. Now conflicted, staring at these awards and coins, looking within. This is me at my peak. Does showing emotions about what I've been through really make me weak? Confused where to turn as war rages inside. How do I trust when it's a camel net of lies? Reaching for a hand of anyone who's there, but policies fall short, trapped in my box and running out of air. Serving those who only pretend to care. When I show up, they say, I'm so glad you're here. Oh, is that right? Where was that when I was reaching for help? And he told my platoon sergeant I had to figure it out myself. Don't worry, you're not the only command to disregard. Understanding soldiers are humans first must be really hard. The military sees us merely as property, so why then with leadership show genuine curiosity? Those at the top just need someone to blame. Not up to snuff, they feed you with shame. Servant leadership needed when authenticity's lost. Commands would throw you away with one careless toss. But that's who I'm forced to trust with my life, hanging by a thread, and they're standing there with the knife. Not a matter of if, but a matter of when. They'll cut that last string with a sneaky grin. Cold and empty, no substance to feel alive, depending on the thrill of death to revive. Come home to suicide rates that continue to climb, but are we in shock? Nope. What good is decoration when it's still an empty box? I'm not an empty, decorated box. I deserve so much more, far more than what military leadership has in store. But how do I leave so many in this strife? Am I just as bad as he when he didn't care about my life? It's not selfish to leave. Tell myself enough, and I'll start to believe I'm doing for me what is right. My ethics and morals conflict with this fight. I see now. Discrimination surpasses your race and gender. This system's constructed for you to surrender. I'll be taking my key. I'll no longer be owned. They've made plenty of me, cloned, empty, and alone. I'll leave you with this, those choosing to stay. No change will come as you pretend to be okay. Remember, not everyone has your best in mind. Be cautious of who you trust. They may leave you behind. Life is vaster than the mission they impress. The code needed to be happy, you do in fact possess. Oh, and be weary of those who make you nervous. Well, good luck, and thank you for your service.
Wow. Thank you, Nadine, for being vulnerable and having the strength to share that with us tonight. My friend who retired after 41 years in the Marine Corps always tells me, you stay for the people, not the institution. You love the people, not the institution. And that's all I could think about the entire time you were reading. So props to you. Thank you for everything. And I'm so sorry for what you've had to endure. So we've got a lot of friends who are Vietnam vets. I do. Issued does. They're usually here for these events. Two of them dropped out due to health reasons at the last minute. And so Stacy and I are kind of stepping in and reading some of their work for them tonight. Most of you know Stacy Eastwood. She spent 3 years in the United States Army, and now she is the program coordinator for the Office of Veteran and Military Academic Engagement at ASU. And she's going to read a poem by one of our Vietnam veteran friends, John Johnson.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate you. This is like a highlight of our year every year, and it's a gorgeous night. So thanks for joining us. So this is thank you for your service. There's almost a theme tonight. We didn't mean to, but we'll do that. Okay. The meaning vacillates by speaker, time, and place. The words don't reveal as much as the expression on the face. Young women seem respectful of family they rarely name, while young men speak with longing to join a new video game. Older folks are more reserved and speak in somber tones of family or personal experience carried deeply in the bones. Fellow veterans never say this because they know only too well that we were all young upstarts, eager to pave the roads to hell. Few talk about the idling or the toll of human waste. Still fewer the political decisions commonly made with impulse and haste. The war-making decisions are presented so rational, and when tinted with fear, the interests seem so national. But the devil is in the details of the permanent war economy, so it is important to follow the money to resist for the sake of our sanity.
That's a poem by John Johnson, who's a member of Vietnam Veterans for Peace. We love John Johnson, and we're wishing all of our Vietnam vets a speedy recovery tonight. hurts my heart that they're all getting sick and they're going to leave us soon, I'm sure. So keep them in your heart and your prayers if you pray. The next Vietnam veteran that I am going to celebrate tonight is our cover artist. I love this cover. It's a wraparound cover, so you can't really get the full effect of it unless you look at it with the book open. That's by Carrie Doc Pardue, who didn't start painting until he was 65 years old. It's a beautiful painting. Let me tell you a little bit about Doc, and then I'm going to read a couple of his poems. Carrie Doc Pardue served as a medic in a recon platoon in Vietnam. He also served in the Arizona National Guard and taught at the Arizona Military Academy. He's written 2 collections of poems about his service, and like many of us, has taught poetry classes to veterans struggling with addiction and PTSD. At the age of 65, he began to paint about his own PTSD, and his award-winning piece was selected for the 2025 cover of Issued Stories of Service. We're so sad that Doc couldn't be here tonight, but he gifted me a book of his poems, so I had plenty to choose from. This one's called I Can't. For you, it was the news. For me, it was the day-to-day. You called for pizza. I called for medics. You watched construction. I performed destruction. You watched children play. I watched them die. You learned of life. I learned of death. Your passion was to succeed. Mine was to survive. You served dinner. I served my country. You never left home. I can't find my way home. And I'm also going to read a poem by him, by Doc, Carrie Pardue, called Some Called Me Medic, Some Called Me Doc. In all the professions I could have chosen to be, none gave me more honor or pride or a sense of responsibility than to be called their medic or boxy or doc. To the 2nd of the 47th Infantry, Recon, the Scouts, a part of headquarters company. The men were daring, young, and strong. We drank our beer and sang our songs as we rode upon our tracks in the paddies of solid green. Each man was tested and a warrior name attached. Cowboy, Pimp, Baby Son, Slim, Pineapple, Repro Man, Thurston Howell III, and Killer II. And there was the Tasmanian Devil, too, just to name a few. We became fast friends, and they learned to trust me, too. A name was given to just a chosen few. They just called me Doc Pardue. It was earned in battle, fighting by their side. They taught me about the living and the dying and the surviving, too. It has been many years since our time in Vietnam. I've been known by many names since, but the one I learned to cherish most was given long ago to me by friends and brothers dressed in battle green. It's simply Doc Pardue. Love that guy. Let's give it up for Carrie Doc Pardue. So most of you know, because I introduced myself as somebody who runs a program called Verses for Vets, that I love it when people write a little bit and open up a little bit about themselves. So I'm going to invite everyone in the audience to come up and grab a notebook and a pen. And then I'm going to give you a quick little writing prompt. You'll have about 5 minutes to write. And then anybody who wants to share, we're going to welcome you up to the mic for sharing. Oh, you're on the list of readers. We've actually got one more reader before you guys start writing. We've got a U.S. Air Force veteran. His name is Rocky PZ. And I'm going to let him come up and read his story or poem before we actually dive into the exercise. Rocky, come on up and share your piece with us. So glad to have you this year, sir.
It's an honor to be here with all you, all the other veterans here, and all the family and friends of those. I started writing poetry because, oh yeah, sorry. I start I started writing poetry because I had issues like most veterans do, and I found the only way to get through them is to talk to myself. And the best way to do that, I thought, is to put pencil in hand and put pencil to paper and just let it come out. So I'd write and rewrite and revamp, and so then I come up with a couple things that I like to share tonight. They're not long. This one's called Courage. Oh, myself, my young self, what were you thinking? Oh, okay. Is it good now? All right. Oh, myself, my young self, what were you thinking? Did you dream your dreams? Did you say anything to anyone? If you did, what was said? Oh, myself, my young self, what were your choices? Did you listen to your own voice or to another, then another? Do you regret your choice? Oh, myself, my young self, had you no strength? Surely you wanted it to be. Did you only relent when your heart spoke? Or was it more than heart, courage? Oh, myself, my young self, what was the choice you made not yours? Was the voice you heard not yours? What was the result of it all? You were not happy, you will admit. Oh, myself, my older self, did you let it happen again? Did you not learn your lesson? Did you not see the sign, the one you passed the last time? Oh, myself, my sad self, again you relented. You listened to someone who knows you less. You could have said what you wanted if only you said yes. This one's called Healing. It's kind of just a short story. Growing up as children in the 50s, in grade school, we had Truman and Eisenhower. Everything seemed to be peaceful and calm. The Korean conflict had ended, but not really. News was not a 24-hour event then. Most of us learned what was overheard from parents or others. Television news was less than 30 minutes, if in fact your family had a set to watch. I read the newspaper daily, mostly the sports section, checking stats and box scores, following my favorite team. In high school, we had Kennedy and Johnson. We were older and somewhat wiser. News was a bit more prevalent then, and we paid attention to local and national events. Most world news and happenings were somewhat vague. Some stories stood out, however. We heard news about a place far away. Our older friends and neighbors were being sent there. As high school progressed and we got older, the realization of possibilities became clearer. Most graduates went on to college. Others chose trade school or just got jobs. The draft was a common topic. People seemed more worried than young men who just wanted to ignore it until someone who we knew fell in battle. Life changed dramatically for most. Many enlisted to do their duty. Others were drafted. Some actually chose to leave the country. I was in tech school. My grades could not sustain me, so I withdrew. My draft notice quickly arrived at home. Enlistment seemed the logical choice over being drafted. Still, I was sent to that faraway country. My mom and sisters fretted and feared the worst. I tried to take things as they came. My tour ended and I returned home. Many others did not. Upon our return home, almost all of us faced scrutiny just walking through the airport. We just wanted to go home and see our family so we can start the healing process. Since many did not support the war, they mistakenly thought all of us were some marauding army killing women and babies. They never took into account that many in battle died, crying for their mothers with their very last breath. Many others were hopelessly wounded, never to be the same. Still, many came home with invisible wounds, eventually facing years of pain as they tried to find their place in life. Far too many, frustrated and lost, chose the only path that seemed real to them. They took their own lives. Now, over 50 years later, the battle still rages. Dreams and nightmares still rob sleep from many. We Vietnam veterans have found our way through, thanks to VA programs and treatment, like the classes the VA offers. They gave us opportunities to express ourselves, thereby helping us recover and heal, turning words into therapy and hopelessness into hopeful. And if I could just read one more, please. All right. This is called deceit. Sometimes I sit and wonder why my life is as it is. Did I not prepare myself for what life had to give? Of course, I had no idea what I was to find. I didn't want to not prepare or be the last in line. Fast forward to now where I am, the path I had to follow. I arrived here where I am, but not without difficult times. Still, many things happened to me along the way. The people I've met and the things I've learned help me day to day. But as always happens in one's life, big things block our view. It often takes more time than we think to find the best way through. We cannot give up, turn away, expect others to do for us. It is our job to do our share and help others as we must. But for me, that got in my way was a conflict far away. It started out small, none of our business is what was said. Then one thing led to another, and soon we got involved. They should have known this was not our problem to solve. So there we were in the middle of what was not our fight. The powers that were thought what they did was right, except they kept things from us with every intentional lie. Very soon we sent our best young men to fight and die. I was one of those they sent, and this is what they said. We're going over there to help a small country survive. The dominoes must not fall. We must stop it where it is. How wrong they were. They never admitted it, and we lost a lot of lives. It was finally over. All the years went by slowly. We lost more than our shirt, the fools we were. That half a small country led by their truth defeated us, the USA, in a war that was a lie. Thank you.
Let's give it up again for Rocky, our newcomer. And thank you so much for repping our Vietnam veterans tonight. What an honor to have you. I'm so glad it wasn't just me and Stacy repping our Vietnam vets tonight. Thank you. Has everybody read? Now we're ready to write then. I want you to think back to Doc Pardew's poem about nicknames. If you have not served, I want you to think of a nickname that somebody gave you in childhood or maybe in school or maybe even in college, adulthood, doesn't matter. If you have served, I want you to write down your nickname. And then I want you to write a few lines about how you earned that name. Why do your faces look the way they do, Wanda and Stacy? That's what I want to know. Listen, I'm going to do it too. Everybody's doing this. So if you've served, go ahead and use your service nickname. Write that down. That'll be the title of your piece. And just give us a little bit of a backstory. And if you haven't served, pick a nickname from any point in your life and do the same. Write down that nickname and then tell us the backstory. It could just be a couple sentences. I'll give you guys like 5 minutes. Jack, can you play some music during this? All right, I wrote a long, lame narrative, so you guys must be close to finishing by now. Would anybody like to share the origin story of their nickname? This is going to close us out tonight. No pressure. I'll go after you if anybody else wants to go. Okay, sounds good, Rocky. We will wait for you. Anybody want to go while Rocky's finishing? You can give us half the explanation. How's that? Half the explanation. Okay, excellent. So you're going to do it, Chuck? Oh, you can. I mean, Wanda's going to do it from up here because we're live streaming, but I mean, I guess you can sit there, Chuck, if that makes you more comfortable. Okay. All right.
I got to do it. You got to do it. No one knows what my nickname is. And there's a reason for that. So most of you are too young to remember the Penthouse magazine. Do you remember? So maybe your dad or somebody, your brother, maybe who knew about that. And if you'll recall, there was a cartoon in the Penthouse magazine. Does anybody recall what that name of that cartoon was? So my call sign was Wicked. And there was a cartoon at the time called Wicked Wanda. And she was very voluptuous, which I am not. And, you know, people make fun of you and they kind of call you the thing that you're not, right? And so I was called Wicked Wanda.
So I didn't really have a really cool like nickname. This is really lame. I did have a call sign though as a grape ape for a little while because I like dragged my knuckles along the ground. But my troops called me Baldy, not because I shaved my head like I do now, but I always had I called it an LZ, a landing zone, so it just wouldn't grow right here. And the best part about this is, and I did this to other people as well, but not necessarily with Rogaine, where I would get sample packs of Rogaine in mail call. So Corporal Hale, Sergeant Hale, why are you getting more Rogaine in the mail? And anyway, so lame nickname, but thanks.
I really didn't nicknames in the military. They just mostly called me Peasy. Hey, Peasy, you gone or you here or whatever? But when I was born in August 1948. I was named after my grandfather and my dad. I was Camilo Albert Peasy. My uncle said that my head looked like a rock when he saw me in the just born room with my dad. So it wasn't long before my dad started calling me Rocky. So when people hear my name, Rocky, they always think of Rocky Balboa. But I'm actually Rocky O, the original.
Anybody else got a nickname they want to reveal? Yeah, get up here, Nadine. Okay, wing it. Did you write a poem? She wrote a poem on the fly, of course. She.
First I did. Oh. Okay, I think I got it. All right. So I don't think it's as positive as some of your guys's, which I'm just fueled by, I guess, negative emotions. I don't know. Listen, yes, anger. We'll go with that. So my nickname is Mess and Fuck. A name not mine, spoken from behind. Drill Sergeant Stanley thought it would be fine. As he called me it, I knew it was out of line. not earned but given by a man baiting his prey, asking if I wanted to be cuddled at the end of the day. Just take the drill sergeant's jokes, they say. But I knew the only response was one that needed to keep him at bay. Turns out later he was not to be trusted. He was preying on us to satisfy his lust. Ruining many who wouldn't make a fuss, leaves me in such disgust.
She is amazing.
Not only is that powerful, it's fair and it's true because a lot of us get nicknames that we do not approve of, that do not represent us. So, power to you for being able to say it and never letting anybody call you that again. I love it. I love it. Let's give it up, you guys. Amazing. Anybody else want a dish? You look like you're about ready to get up out of your seat. So I'm giving you the mic, man. I'm giving you the mic. You were on the edge of your seat. So what's your name? Ian? Yeah. All right. Welcome in, you guys.
So I tried my hand at writing a poem to go along with my nickname. I was a corpsman, so that it was normally Doc, but a lot of my friends called me Creature because when I'd get drunk, I would do really stupid things. And there's some photos out there of me being a creature. But all right, I'll give it a shot for this poem. The poem's called Creature. The big dumb Muldoon dragging his knuckles through the gloom, too stupid and myopic to care, broken from society's norms to carry his share. The death cult's newest expendable creature joins the fold. Did you have the adventure you thought you would? Was it worth the separation from self to be permanently feel like a piece of wood, put on a shelf for when the world needs to build a new effigy? All right.
I like that.
Wow, Ian. That was awesome. We just want to see some of the photos that are circulating allegedly. That's Thank you, man. That was great. What a great poem you wrote on the fly. Anybody else want to go? Missy, you look like you're about ready to. You want to come up here? Okay. All right. Because non-veterans are welcome. That's the whole point of these community events so that we can share stories and support each other and be a better community member. So, Missy, I'll give you a little backstory on Missy. I didn't know she was coming tonight. She's a friend of mine. She's one of the most famous cat ladies in the state of Arizona. And she used to own the Cat Cafe just down the street. And she now runs a nonprofit called She's All Cat. So she is like an extraordinary cat rescuer and advocate. And she actually got the city of Phoenix to acknowledge Feline Appreciation and Awareness Day, which is now what day? May 21st, you guys. Can you believe that? It's like a recognized holiday in Phoenix thanks to her because she likes to go to city council meetings and harass people. So, veterans, you need her for something. I'm just saying, you might want her to be an ally. All right, get up here, Missy.
Okay. I wrote it this way. I didn't really have a nickname growing up because the only other nickname growing up was Blubber, and I wasn't going to tell that. So my sister called me that. So the new nickname, I have a new nickname that it's called Kitty, and I kind of wrote a little poem, kind of, not really. This is a new nickname that the guys at my favorite bar call me. Kitty, they proclaim when I walk in the door. By the time I get to the bar, they already have my espresso martini and Coke ready. They know me, they trust me. They have all adopted cats from me.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for having the cutest nickname on the planet, cat lady. Kitty, I love it. Anybody else want to share their nickname? No? I'm looking at faces. Everybody looks so uncomfortable right now. Lexi, do you want to? No? Okay. All I'm going to say then is that my name, which is Rosemarie, Gina with a J, Dombrowski, was entirely constructed by my father, whose name was Richard Joseph Dombrowski. He was obsessed with initials. He had to give me a name that was a marriage of all the women in the family, but the initials had to line up with his. Nevertheless, other than my immediate family, no one ever called me by initials. until I came to open the downtown ASU campus. And I was suddenly inundated with like 25 emails a day. And I was like, why am I important? Like, I'm a graduate student. What is going on? Why are so many people sending me emails? So I started signing my emails RD, RD. And everyone on the downtown campus thought that's what I wanted to go by. So everyone started calling me RD, and I can't think of myself any other way now. And I know my dad is smiling down on me for that. So that's my story, you guys. This was such an amazing night. It was intergenerational. There was so much amazing poetry. And thank you for everybody who wrote on the fly and shared your stories as well. Thank you, Rocky. Amazing to have you in the fold this year. And we hope that you'll come back to our events in the future. Nadine, thank you so much for coming back. Chuck, as always, thank you for being our anchor. We're so happy to have you in our community as well. Thanks, everybody. That's it. Absolutely. Issued is open for submissions, you guys. So you can send them right to issuedjournal@gmail.com. You can look up Issued Journal on the web and go to our online version, or you can find it through OVMAE's office. There's a link there as well. So submissions can come in until December 31st. Come January, me and a new group of editorial interns, plus Lexi, my old intern, who's still in graduate school, thankfully. We will be reading those submissions and getting the publication ready for a May launch. So we would love to see some of your work in there. You do not have to be ASU affiliated. You can have graduated. You can have never gone to ASU. So please send us your work. And continue to support our veteran storytelling events in our veteran community, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing. And thank you to Michael, one of our new readers as well, our resident PhD student. Thank you, guys. Ian, so great to meet you, man. Thanks for coming.